NBA Today, Perkins reacts to Bulls being viewed as a potential free agency destination for Jonathan Kuminga. The NBA offseason is always filled with speculation, and this year is no different. One of the latest storylines making waves involves Chicago being mentioned as a possible free agency destination for Golden State Warriors forward Jonathan Kuminga. On NBA Today, former NBA big man and current analyst Perkins shared his thoughts on the rumor, sparking plenty of discussion about what a move like this could mean for both Kuminga and the Bulls. Jonathan Kuminga, just 22 years old, has steadily built a reputation as one of the most promising young forwards in the league. Known for his elite athleticism, defensive versatility, and ability to run the floor, Kuminga has flashed moments of star potential in Golden State. However, his development has been somewhat inconsistent, largely due to the Warriors' unique roster construction and reliance on established veterans like Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. Many analysts believe that Kuminga could thrive in a larger role elsewhere, and the Chicago Bulls have suddenly been floated as one of the franchises that might offer him that opportunity. On NBA Today, Perkins didn't hold back in his assessment. He pointed out that Chicago has been stuck in the middle of the Eastern Conference standings for several seasons, good enough to flirt with playoff contention, but not strong enough to be considered a real threat. According to Perkins, adding a young, high-ceiling player like Kuminga could be exactly the kind of move the Bulls need to shift out of mediocrity. Perkins emphasized that Kuminga's size, energy, and defensive presence would immediately elevate Chicago's versatility, while also giving them a player to build around for the future. From Chicago's perspective, the potential fit is intriguing. The Bulls' core of Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Vucevic has produced mixed results. While the trio has put up solid numbers, injuries and chemistry issues have prevented them from reaching their ceiling. With DeRozan's future uncertain and LaVine frequently involved in trade rumors, Chicago is at a crossroads. Pursuing a young free agent like Kuminga would signal a shift toward building a roster around youth and athleticism rather than relying solely on established veterans. Financially, the Bulls would need to maneuver carefully. Kuminga's market value is expected to rise significantly given his age and potential, and Chicago would have to clear cap space or explore sign-and-trade scenarios to make a deal realistic. Still, Perkins suggested that if the Bulls are serious about escaping the treadmill of mediocrity, they must be willing to take risks on players who can grow into franchise cornerstones. For Perkins, Kuminga represents the type of bold move that could redefine Chicago's identity. Another key angle discussed on the show was how Kuminga himself might view the Bulls. Chicago remains one of the NBA's marquee markets, with a rich history tied to the Michael Jordan era and a passionate fan base. For a young player seeking both exposure and opportunity, Chicago provides a compelling destination. Perkins highlighted that the Bulls' need for an explosive forward would allow Kuminga to showcase his full skill set without being overshadowed by veteran stars in a crowded system, as has often been the case with Golden State. However, questions remain. Is Kuminga ready to take on the responsibility of being a centerpiece? While his flashes of brilliance are undeniable, he has yet to consistently dominate games over the course of a full season. On NBA Today, Perkins acknowledged this uncertainty but stressed that growth often comes with opportunity. In his view, Chicago offers Kuminga the chance to prove himself in a way he might never be able to in Golden State's championship-focused structure. Ultimately, the discussion underscored a broader theme. The Bulls need to make a decisive move. Whether or not Jonathan Kuminga becomes a realistic free agency target, the franchise cannot afford to remain stuck in neutral. As Perkins summed up, sometimes a team has to gamble on upside rather than cling to familiarity. For Chicago, Kuminga represents both risk and potential reward, a gamble that could finally push the Bulls into a new era.